All right.
How's it going, my comic chat army? We're here with William Russell, aka the Angry Artist. How you doing?
Hey,
Wi-
what's up, man? Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. So, what makes you angry to be the Angry Artist?
Actually, it doesn't really have anything to do too much with being angry. Um, it was kind of a joke thing. I started about a year and a half ago, as I would be driving to see clients, or when I was doing my old career, or whether I was driving to the post office to mail off art or whatever. Um, it just kind of turned into these little rant videos, whether it was talking about uh, poor drivers and what we run into here locally, or whether it was ranting about people who were shipping comics poorly, or just mistreating people in general when it came to overpriced shipping, and people charging $9 and then sending stuff media mail for $2 and some change. So it just kind of became rants like that, just kind of trying to hold people accountable for what they do and their behaviors and what shouldn't be allowed, and how a lot of people let it slide because they either don't want to get into it with anyone, or they don't have the balls to call it out for the poor behavior it is. So it just kind of started like that, and it just kind of snowballed into this whole joke thing about being angry. And the whole, as far as the angry part, like what it was initially intended for was just being, you know, usually when someone's mad about something, they kind of go after it. They don't want to let
Yeah.
it go. They don't want to drop it. They're pissed off. They want it to be acknowledged, and they want to have it handled. So it kind of played into that, about being angry about being in art. No matter what passion you have, chase it like you're mad about it.
Okay.
Chase it like you're angry, and that way you won't drop it as easily, because that's usually the way it goes when you're pissed about something. You don't really want to drop it.
Right.
So, kind of, it was just kind of meant like that, and then it just, like I said, snowballed into these like rant videos and stuff, and which I kind of stopped a lot of the rant videos, because one of the things we've learned over the prior year, people don't listen. People don't. They'll continue to do business with people that do poor business. They'll continue to shop with people who ship poorly. Us
Hmm.
pointing it out or bringing it to the forefront to try to help educate people on how to pay attention to these things and hold people accountable kind of went out the window. So I don't really do it as much anymore, but the angry artist thing stuck, so we kept it that way.
Are the videos still up? Like, can people go visit them if they want?
To be honest, I don't know offhand. I know a lot of them got deleted. Facebook, people, reporting. I mean, they weren't like, they weren't name dropping people. They
Right.
weren't harassing people or anything like that. Because we would name drop it first, but it was only on situations that pertain to me, where I
Hmm.
physically dealt with them. My experience with that particular person. So, like I said, some of the videos, like I've tried to look them up before, and they're not there anymore. So I don't know if Facebook removed. Well, obviously Facebook would have had to have removed them, but for what reason, I have no clue. So I don't even know if they're up anymore. So, but
All right. Well, if y'all can find some of the deep cuts of some of his rant videos, send me one. I'd like to check it out, guys. So I know you do consultations. How long have you been doing comic consultations?
now, what do you mean by consultations?
Like covers? That's called consultations, right? Where you
You mean
get a book
commission?
cover. Commissions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, commissions. I've been doing. Let's see. This let's see, I'm going on 2.5 years now doing this professionally. I'm just past my 1 year anniversary for doing art only as a sole income.
Well,
So I've
nice.
been doing it a while. I've done some projects for Upper Deck and Marvel with their Flair and Marvel premieres and stuff like that. I've done a few indie covers. I've self-published 2 art books. So I've been doing a good bit. My commissions, that's been going since day one. Like I said, 2.5 years ago. They keep me pretty busy with that. Um, Covers, I do everything from sketch covers to Bristol, A4 size, A3 size, those kinds of things. Every once in a while, I'll do custom, 28 by 22 pieces for certain people. But yeah, usually most of the time it's sketch covers and stuff like that. So,
What's your favorite sketch cover that you've done recently?
um, probably the most recent, probably the Bad Who Laughs or either Venom. Those are probably my two favorite things to do. They're the ones that usually stands out the most, the ones I get the most requests for. Um, the sketch covers, and like if I had, as far as like material, I would prefer to work on A4 Bristol instead of sketch covers, just because for some weird reason, sketch covers can have this like slick material on it, and it can really mess with Copic markers and stuff like that. So you may sit there and spend. I mean, and the sad thing about it is some of these covers you can sit there and spend, 2-3 hours doing pencil work, then actually go into inking it and spend another 2 hours or so inking it, and it looks beautiful. And then the minute you go to lay alcohol markers down on it, it just goes to crap. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy the sketch covers, but I definitely prefer working on Bristol, my own paper,
Right.
than the sketch cover. And I mean, to be honest, clients get more bang for their buck out of the Bristol than they do sketch covers, just because it's, when we're working on A4, that's usually, 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12 versus a sketch cover, which if you add in the title that's already on it, you actually only have about maybe 4 or 5 inches across and about 4 or 5 inches up to work on. So, but as far as characters, yeah, Bat Who Laughs and Venom's probably my most requested and the most fun I enjoy doing.
Is there a character that you don't like doing or have a challenge doing?
Let's see. So far, no, not really. I mean, about the only thing I really run into is just the request for the same characters over and over.
Yeah.
A lot of us artists get kind of caught into that, where it's, or the popularity of the characters. I would love to see more out of the box thinking when it comes to some of the character requests. I would love to see more characters like, B level characters or C level characters getting some shine. But it's usually, Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Venom, Bat Who Laughs. You've got this batch of, 10 or 15 characters that pretty much everybody asks for. But I don't think I have. I don't think I have anything that I've ran into just yet that's been annoying or difficult. Probably about the only thing that's a little more difficult for me is when someone requests like an anime style. That, since I'm more, Western, heavy detailed kind of stuff, when somebody requests, something similar to anime or something similar to, whatever it's called, where the comic characters look like kids.
I don't know.
Kind of does that, where they look like little kids.
Right.
So when you take something where you're used to drawing something a lot of heavy detail, and then someone asks you to draw something that's a little more simplistic, less detail, that can be a little bit of a pain in the butt because you have to try to reel yourself back in and not put so much line work into it, because that's what a lot of anime is kind of known for being very simplistic in the line work. So that's probably about the only thing I bump into that every once in a while that's kind of a bother, is having to do that. Or actually, no, I take that back. One of the ones that can be a real pain in the ass too is when someone asks me to recreate old styles. So when someone says, hey, I want a Jack Kirby piece, or I want a Steve Ditko piece, or any of the old school guys, but they want it in that style, not just recreating that cover or something like that. Now that can be a pain in the butt too, because those guys, except for one or two, those guys for the most part weren't super line heavy either in the detail work.
Right.
So, having again reel yourself in to try to stop from putting your style on it, that can be a bit of a tough one.
All right. And how far out are you with consultations?
Commissions?
Your commission. Sorry, I keep saying consultations.
That's okay. Right now, I switched mine up. Mine's a little different than most artists. the majority of artists out there have what's called an open commission. They, no matter when you touch base with them, they'll take your order all day long, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Right.
No cap on their commission list. So I run mine a little different. I cap mine. So I open my commission list every quarter. So 4 times a year. And when I open that commission list, I usually only allow about 20, 25 spots. And that way, by me doing that, I mean, yes, it can hinder me in making some money, because once that list is capped and someone comes to me, I tell them, hey, the commission list is capped. I'm not taking any more right now. Come see me again in another month or two when I open it back up. Now, by doing that, you do risk, with art being a spontaneous buy, you do risk them coming to you, you saying no at that moment, and them going to another artist. And then when you touch base with them a month or two later, oh, yeah, man, I went ahead and I found somebody else, which is okay.
Right.
But so you do risk losing money. But by running a cap list, I think it keeps the wait time smaller for people to get their stuff back. But even like right now, like if I don't have any family problems that come up, I don't have any health issues that come up, like getting sick or anything like that. If I don't have anything comes up and the wheel rolls like it's supposed to do, my commission list right now is anywhere between your wait time, depending on what size, format, or how intricate of a piece you're ordering. You could be on the commission list for 3 weeks, or you could be on the commission list for 3 months.
Okay.
Because it also, a lot of people forget this, that, not only are we doing mail order commissions, if we have, cover projects that come across our desk that has a deadline on it, that means all mail order commissions go on pause until we finish that deadline piece that goes to that Kickstarter or to that sketch card like Upper Deck or something like that that's got deadlines. All of that goes on pause. And that can really push a commission list back. Usually a cover job for an indie project or something like that, they'll send us the basic information of what they're kind of looking for. Some of them, very few, but some will give you full reign, say, hey, I want this character or this concept, and you do whatever you want to with it.
Yeah.
Now, those are great. But even those, we set down when we get that order, that can take a day and a half to 2 days to work out that idea. Then we got to send it to them, get it approved. And if we luck up and they approve it, then we start laying final pencils. We start laying ink work, which takes another couple days. So just one cover project where they say, do what you want, and they don't bottleneck you too bad. One cover project can put a mail order commission list behind by a week.
Okay. How many Kickstarter covers have you done so far?
I've done 2 that have been fulfilled and printed and sent out to clients. I did I did the variant cover for Aeonian #2. I did the variant cover for Naughty Fairy Assassin Swimsuit Edition. And then I did a cover piece for a variant cover for Thoron #1, which I think went into Kickstarter around May, but I think he had some issues with his Kickstarter, so he's going to redo it here soon. Which May's kind of like when all the COVID stuff hit hardball.
Oh yeah.
So that I'm sure that's what hindered a lot of the issues he was having with his. And then Don't Pay the Ferryman with Chris Hayes and those guys. I just did a 11x17 piece for them to use as the one of the stretch goals in theirs. And there's supposed to be there'll be some more stuff coming from that with those guys for Don't Pay the Ferryman #2, like in I think July or August. So there'll be more to that. So.
Are you working on any ones now that you can give us a hint on?
No. Like I said, there's stuff coming for the Ferryman #2, but I can't give any information on it just yet. They're still working on that one. Which if you guys haven't checked out that one, which that Kickstarter just in for issue #1, definitely check that out. That has got one of the coolest story concepts that I've seen in a long time. If you're a horror fan,
Okay.
definitely more horror based, but definitely give that one a check too.
All right. Well, what is a mistake that you see a lot of artists out there doing today, or
Okay.
a common mistake? Either.
Be honest, to be blunt, um, doing stuff for free. People need to stop doing it.
Right.
People want to talk this tough shit about pay, hashtag pay the artist, hashtag artist first. Over the last year and a half, I've probably had, over the last year and a half, I've probably had 25 to 30 cover offers. And then when I tell them my price, I don't hear from them again. And or tell me right out the gate, okay, well, yeah, we're just looking for an artist that can do this for free.
Wow.
And get the exposure. And to be blunt about, and don't get me wrong, when you're first starting out, you do got to work with it a little bit to get your name out there, to get your covers out there. You do got to work with people a little bit, which is one of the reasons. Like, I'm not doing it for free unless it's something that I go after. Like if I see somebody doing a horror, because I'm a huge horror fan. If I see somebody doing a horror project that I'm really digging the idea of, now I might do something for them for free. And even then, it's not technically free because I'm going to get a stack of the books when they go, when they're printed. Mm-hmm. So it's still not free. But I have a special deal, like a lot of artists out there. I have a certain price that I do when it comes to Kickstarters that is way cheaper than what my normal commission rates are for that same size project, which is on what we call large format 11 by 17 cover, stock. So my price is way lower than my commission price for that same project if somebody wanted me to just do a commission on 11 by 17. So the way I look at things is prices being as low as I've got them set, and a lot of artists have them set for that type of work, there's no excuse anyone can't pay the artist for that. And the sad thing is when these guys come to you and they ask you to do a cover and then they tell you, oh, we're just, looking for somebody to do it for free, to do it for exposure. It's not exposure. Unless you're someone who has had 5 or 10 successful Kickstarters, you're printing 1,000 copies of a book on your Kickstarter. You've got a solid following built up. That's the only way you got exposure. If this is your first Kickstarter of your first book, you don't have exposure. Right. And, and let's be honest here, those people get paid. I mean, that's the point of a Kickstarter. It don't come out of your pocket. When I self-printed my 2 art books, I paid for that print job out of my own pocket. So I know what it costs to print a book.
And are those still available, your art books?
See, I think the Art of Custom Creations Volume 1, which is all comic related art, that is sold out. It was originally 100 prints on that, and they're completely sold out. And then the Horror Icons, which is all art I've done of horror characters, that one out of 100 print run, I think there's only I'd have to count them to make sure, but I think there's only 20, 25 left of those. And I'll do another volume come January. I plan to do one each year of all the art I've accumulated the year before. But yeah, those, so when those guys come to you talking this exposure stuff, it's time. Artists have to stop doing that. They have to stop doing shit for free. Even if they only charge $50 or $100 to do a cover job. I mean, there's no reason anyone pay that. Or the Kickstarter guys say, look, we'll write up a contract with you. If the project gets fully funded to where we can print it, we'll pay you out of that fully funded money. But see, they don't even offer that. Wow. So, I mean, that's probably the biggest mistake I see a lot of people making is they got to start putting more value on their art and their time and stop just doing stuff for free. So. Right.
All right. Well, that's it for now. Is there anything you want to tell us before we go?
No, I mean, you guys can check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Latimer12, which is LATOMIER 12. My commission list is closed at the moment, but it will open up. If everything goes good, I should have it opened back up probably the end of this month, last week of this month, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, just feel free to check me out. Feel free to give me a follow. I'm probably not for the sensitive. If you can't handle being good to people and can't handle being respectful to people, I'm probably not the one for you, because I do call you out on bullshit. So.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem, man. Thank you so much, Cody, for having me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you.